In today's video, I am going to be looking at Stephon Castle and how he plays the game in the NBA so that you can copy some of the things that he does so that you can improve yourself. Let's get down. Let's check him out really quickly. If you want to be able to shoot the ball from further away and get stronger, make sure to go check out the shooting workout that is down in the description below. Now let's get down and let's check out Stephon Castle. Okay, so coming off of this dribble handoff right here, he attacks hard to the rim. Now, this is actually very important. Whenever you come off of a dribble handoff, either you attack the rim hard or you pull for a shot. He would have actually been wide open if he pulled for the shot because his defender went underneath that screen. However, he continued towards the rim because what he noticed was he was going to gather multiple defenders. This defender here is not dropping, and this guy is not playing help. And also this puts, of course, the defense in a bad situation because now they are double teaming the ball. Who is this man and this man going to be guarding? Because San Antonio has a man rolling down middle, a man lifting, and a man who is filling out. 2 defenders versus 3. Who are they going to defend? So Stephon Castle makes the right decision, hits the roll man, who is then able to score. So Stephon Castle is a great three-point shooter. We already know that. But these shot fakes on players who are taller is something that a lot of players make a mistake on. Because when players make this shot fake, they don't make it realistic. They don't make it look like they're about to shoot. Which this defender doesn't usually get up into the air. But with Stephon Castle, he makes the shot fake realistic. He steps into his shot. He gets that ball up to his head at the same speed as if he was about to shoot the ball. That gets the defender up into the air, and because he has a massive speed advantage on that defender, he created essentially a lane to the basket. By getting to that basket now, he's got a lot of opportunities. He's got options to be able to kick the ball out, depending on what defenders do. Or what he does right here is he's able to get it to the player who's in the dunker's spot. And of course, his teammates then able to score. Anytime you drive to the rim and you've beat your man and you have a secondary defender collapsing on you, which would be the help defender, always the first thing you do is look where they came from or look for cutters along the baseline. Obviously, secondary options would be out on the perimeter on the 45/wing or the corner, but baseline cutters can get you some easy, quick assists. Now, I really like what Stephon Castle does right here. So he receives that ball on the 45 in transition. His defender is closing out towards that sideline side, the left side, and you have to use his momentum against him. Number one, if he was closing out this way, you would do the same thing, just the opposite way. However, here he's closing out to the sideline. You have to use his momentum against him and attack his top foot and attack back down middle. The middle also gives you a lot of opportunities because defenses generally do not want you going down middle. So by attacking back middle, that gives him opportunities to be able to kick that ball out or just to score the ball himself. Now right here, he's got a pretty good defender on him, but what he does I really like. So he does a quick crossover towards the top foot of that defender. Obviously, generally speaking, you always want to attack that top foot. By doing a crossover towards that top foot, that usually opens up that player if you cross back. And when that happens, you now have a complete lane to the basket. So these killer crossovers where you cross over to the top foot and quickly back, if they don't drop that foot to create a new top foot, they open up and give you the lane. And when that happens, you need to get to the basket and create body contact as we see right here. If I rewind it just a bit, you'll see the body contact there, and then he's nice and patient. He makes body contact, and then he lands on 2 feet. Being on 2 feet allows him to be balanced. Now, he makes a little bit of a mistake here. He does that shot fake. He goes up when these defenders are on their way back down. That's good. The mistake happens right here. And that is he's using his right hand on the left side. It's not that great of an angle to be able to shoot from, especially when you've got 2 defenders, one of which making body contact with you, which means that he misses this shot. Now, he gets the tip back. However, that left hand would have got him that basket right away, the first try, most likely. Now, he overplays this man and he cuts back door. Now, this is a great defensive play by Stephon Castle. And all he does is he notices his man's cutting back door. Obviously, he was overplaying him. He made that mistake. However, he just gets his hand up. Sometimes all you need to do is just have your hand up. So many players don't play with their hands up on defense. They have them to their side and just run along and say, oh, nope, my man has the ball. As long as you try to reach for the ball, you have your hand up in the passing lanes, you're going to get probably pretty lucky and get that steal. Now here he gets the dribble handoff, but the whole idea is for him to attack the middle, and he lands on 2 feet. I can't stress this enough. 2 feet in the paint is extremely important. Getting these 2 feet in the paint at the same time and planting on 2 feet so that he can use either foot as a pivot foot, and as soon as he chooses the pivot foot, he cannot change it. That allows him to collapse the defense because nobody wants an offensive player in their key. So that collapses the defense. You've got help defenders, you've got gap defenders. At this point, he's got 3 guys in the key. And if you can attack the key successfully, you collapse the defense and you land on 2 feet, that allows you to pivot, and then you can pass that ball out to the perimeter or to a cutter if he was open. And that allows you to get another assist. He is an absolute boss at getting himself assists. Now, what he does right here, I really like. I personally do this a lot in 2K when I'm playing my nephew David. But when he attacks the rim right here, he pulls out. He does a quick reverse dribble. He has a player lifting. Everyone's going back to their man. There's nobody in help. Terrible team defense. Obviously, there's no real help in the NBA. They have to kind of sit on the side of the key. However, that quick reverse out gets this man onto his heels. Watch, right there. And then as soon as he's on his heels, right there, that is when you blow by him. You have an absolutely wide open key that you can attack at this point, and Stephon Castle is able to finish with that dunk. Now, while you're in transition, this is a 3-on-3 transition, so this is not a mismatch. This is not going to be one of those transitions where it's 3-on-2, you have numbers. But the benefit here is you still want to try and get that ball into the paint, 2 feet in the paint. The reason being is you're going to be collapsing the defense. And if you have the opportunity to score, you can get your team an maybe easy-ish kind of layup. But by getting that ball into the paint and scoring, the next time they're going to collapse even more people onto you, which means that you kick it out to the open 3-point shooters around the perimeter. So whether you go to score while you're in the paint or you kick it out, it doesn't necessarily matter. Score or kick, you're still going to be highly effective because you are helping collapse the defense. Your goal as an offensive player should not be to be a player who is not a threat. You always want to be a threat. You always want to try and get that ball in the rim or in the key so that another player or yourself can get an easy basket. Now, this is why I personally think the mid-range area is going to be more and more popular going into the future. 14 to 18 feet in that range is going to be extremely important because players are going to be running you off the 3-point line because so many players are going to be able to shoot the 3 at the high percentage as we already are. Now, getting to the rim, if you're a slasher, teams are going to be walling up so that you cannot get to the rim, and if you cannot get to the rim, if you can't shoot a 3 and you can't get to the rim, what are you going to do? Well, you've got to pull up for a mid-range, and that's exactly what we see him do right here, and he's able to drain it. Learn the mid-range game. I think it's going to be very important going into the future. I hope that these tips help you become a better basketball player. If they do, hit that like button and subscribe, and I'll see you guys again in my next video.